So, I had kind of a fun idea, fun to me at least. I was about to put this board back together in the studio and thought maybe I'll just do a little video of its current state because I realized that this is kind of what I use. 99.9% of everything that I need it for. No matter if I'm doing a show with Blue Rhythm Revival, or if I'm doing sessions, or doing like what I did this weekend, a whole set of Black Sabbath songs. This is all I used. Black Sabbath came with, I needed the Crybaby. Besides that, everything else is this is it. And I thought it was really cool that the board has kind of gotten to the point where it works for so many different things. So I figured I'd just talk about it for a second, maybe show you the current signal chain. And I don't know, it's gonna be fun to look back on in a couple of years, or, Baby Warren wants to see it one day, 2025 setup, whatever. But let's see if I can remember how this goes. So obviously tuner first, then into this fuzz, which is just so killer. I have it on fat full right now because I was kind of trying to experiment with some tone bender kind of settings, but I usually just have it on vintage. Fuzz into this EQ pedal, the Perry EQ, which is just amazing. Sounds so good. Most of the time, I'm gonna get down on the floor actually. Most of the time, I have just a little bit of mids being pushed up here. Maybe a little bit of 3.2, just to kind of bring out a little bit of clarity, depending on what's going on. But yeah, shelf the low end a little bit. I don't know, whatever. From there, into the EP boost, into Lightspeed, into ODR1, into the clone. I will come back to that. From the clone into this chorus, delay, reverb, and then out to whatever. Pretty straightforward, but I did kind of put this together this way for a certain reason. Right, so my thoughts were, I want the fuzz, pretty close to the front of the chain, just because it's finicky, as all fuzz pedals are. That being said, these four drive pedals kind of interact in a special way depending on the function, right? 90% of the time, I kind of just have this going. Oh, it's not plugged in. This I will kick on if I just need more balls for maybe a bigger chorus or whatever. Then these two I kind of see as options for solos, right? So if I've got a nice crunchy tone going on with this, I can kick this on in front of it for solo, or alternatively, kick this on after it to really bring up the level overall, while also kind of tightening up, cutting out some of the low end. For this Black Sabbath set this weekend, I had this on, and this on. Just cranked. It was, I don't remember the settings, but it was pretty good. Additionally, the fuzz, as we all know, can get lost, can get buried real fast. So with that, and I need to be heard in a mix, kick this guy on, and best sound you've heard all day right there. Obviously, there's, other things that you can do with that, but that's my main thought process as far as that chain goes, as well as having an EQ up front with the mindset of, I want to EQ the sound of the guitar and not the sound of everything else, right? If I'm playing a 335 and I want it to sound more like a Les Paul, or I want it to sound more like a Tele, I can do that here instead of having this at the end of the chain and then, oh yeah, see my fingernails? That's the side effect of playing a whole set of Black Sabbath songs with 1 week of practice. Anyways, another cool part about this is I have this expression pedal, which is not on the chain, right? This goes only to the bell epoch, which is incredible. But I have this set as volume of the delay effect, right? So with this specific purpose of the Sabbath set this weekend, I kind of had this set, I don't know where it's at now, but I kind of had this set as a little bit of a doubling effect, right? Like we all know Tony Iommi's doubling thing for his solos especially, and I wanted to kind of be able to mimic that as the only guitar player for most of the songs. So all I need to do, step up to the board, roll that forward, delays on. I don't have to reach up to this, anything like that. So, you know, maybe it matters, maybe it doesn't, but that's the way it was already set, again, because that's the way I use it for a lot of things. But I thought it worked great. Dispatch Master came in super handy for some ambient things we did on changes, but man, I could live with this pedal on. Oh, it's so good, so good. Anyways, that's all I have to say about that. Really, at home, I'll just kind of hook this up to. Currently am experimenting still with the Echo Fix spring reverb, and then just onto a looper pedal, which I just gifted to my friend Gare. So now I have to get a new looper pedal for home playing. But yeah, that's it. Hope you guys enjoy. All you 2 people who watch these videos.
This world stops turning, ashes where the body's burning. No more war pigs have the power.